And hello, everybody. You are listening live to the Atlanta Hawks Postgame show on Spreaker.com by the Atlanta Teen Sports Center or the All Around Atlanta Sports Podcast, whatever you prefer to call us. And sorry if you hear the Hawks live in the background. I moved to another room, but sorry if you hear that in the background. But your Atlanta Hawks come back from trailing by 26 going into the fourth quarter to come back and beat the Cavaliers by a final score of 126-125. And I will open up the phone lines here in just a second, so if you want to call in, give a quick call to 770-490-3921. Yet again, that is 770-490-3921. So the Atlanta Hawks go down by 17 at the end of the first, and the Cavaliers are able to stretch that out to 19 by halftime, make that 26 by the end of the third, but the Hawks come storming back, outscoring them 44-18 in the fourth quarter to send it into overtime, and 15-14 in overtime to win the game 126-125. And no, it was not a buzzer beater by the Hawks. They hit a buzzer beater to tie it up going into overtime, but Kyrie hits a buzzer beater at the end of the fourth quarter. At the end of overtime to make it a 1-point game. But it wasn't enough as he banked in a deep three to make it 126-125. But the Hawks were able to hold on to the win. And as I said, open up the phone line, so give a quick call. 770-490-3921. And yeah. So basically, I'm going to get into this, my Hawk player of the game as I look at the stats here. Paul Millsap with 22 points, 11 for 11 on free throws, with 45 points for Kyrie Irving, 6 for 30 on field goals, 5 for 6 on free throws. And so, attendance was 18,835, with a capacity of 18,729. So the capacity was 100%, and this late playoff atmosphere game for the Hawks to move to 42-38 on the season, good enough to stay in fifth place. And as I said, my Hawks players, Paul Millsap, with 22 points, and Taurean Prince coming off the bench at 7. Dwight Howard had 19, Dennis Schroeder with 13, Tim Hardaway with 21, and off the bench, Mike Muscala had clutch three in the fourth quarter to give the Hawks the lead with 12 points in the final. Ersan Ilyasova was 6. Ben Bree didn't get any. He didn't play today. Kent Bazemore with 13. Chris Humphries did not play, so he didn't get any points. Mike Dunleavy was 7. Jose Calderon with 2. Delaney was 4. 2, and both in overtime, I believe. Yeah, all his points came in overtime. And, yeah. So, Hawks with a great fourth quarter to get them back into the game as they go on a... Let me pull up the fourth quarter here. I'm using the ESPN app, guys, so credit to them. They go on a really long run throughout the fourth quarter to get themselves back into the game. So, yeah. As I said, open up the phone line here. You can either tweet me at BNewsomGoGators. Yes, I'm a Florida fan, but I'm a big Atlanta sports fan. I live in Atlanta. Or Skype me at Blake Newsom. Just search that, and you should see me because that's me in a Gator hat. You can tell I'm a teenager by my voice. And, yeah, or you can just call in at 770-490-3921. Before I get to that, I'm moving on to the Braves. They dropped a hard one in overtime today by a final score of 6-5. Overtime, oh my God. They dropped a hard one in extra innings today by a final score of 6-5 to get swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates to start the year 1-5. My thoughts on that. Atlanta had this game in the bag pretty much the whole entire game, going up 2-0, and then they were at 4-3 late in the game and just couldn't hold on. Went into extras, and we're up 5-4 in the 10th inning before Starlin Marte walks it off with a 2-run bomb at the bottom of the 10th to give the Pirates the sweep and to beat the Braves yet again to make it 5-1 as they sweep the Poop Decks. But what an interesting day in Atlanta sports. I mean, you come off a high win for the Atlanta Hawks, but then you have to sink down low for a Braves getting swept. So, yeah, thank you guys for listening. Really nothing else going on. Other than I'll give you scores around the league for NBA. So, yeah. So, late in the fourth quarter, the Nuggets lead 93-83 over the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Suns lead 58-56 late in the second quarter against the Dallas Mavericks. The Sacramento Kings trailed at home against the Houston Rockets and James Harden 62-45. And 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, the Grizzlies lead the Detroit Pistons 47-41. In our game, the Hawks beat the Cavaliers in overtime 126-125. The Raptors defeat the Knicks in New York today 110-97. And to be played later tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Los Angeles Lakers, who had a good start of the year, but has not really gone in the right direction for the rest of the year. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. I guess I'm not going to get any calls, so yeah, you just listened to the Atlanta Hawks postgame show at Spreaker.com by the Atlanta Teen Sports Center or the All Around Atlanta Sport Podcast, whatever you prefer to call us. So we'll see you next time. This is our first live show, by the way, so tell me how you like it in the comments or whatever. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time. Go A-Town, and good luck to you for the rest of the season, Hawks. Hope to see you go deep in the playoffs, even how we've played lately. But go A-Town.